It was probably maybe about 10 years ago now. They've been talking about it for such a long time, but it was, our dad was in the foster system when he was younger, so it's something that we've always like all really talked quite openly about. But the first time I can remember it being mentioned was when I was probably just going into high school, and my dad had just reunited with his brother who he'd not seen since they were fostered, and the question kind of popped up of, would my parents be foster carers? And my mum said, at some point when Kaitlin moves out, it's something we'd like to do. And I stormed off crying and said to my mum that they were already trying to kick me out of the house even though I was still in my bedroom, and I was very upset at the time.
I think it was nice though when we found out, because I'm the youngest sibling, so it's nice to have somebody younger than me, so I know what it's like to be the younger sibling and to be also an older sibling. So I thought it was going to be something really exciting, something new for us all, obviously, and good experience.
I look back now and I can't believe that it took that long to be comfortable for it. It was like a process that we were really included in when everything started going through. So when like the social workers came to the house for the first time, our mum and dad's caseworker, when they were going through panel and bits like that, and they came to ask us questions, I think even then I knew it was a good idea, but I still kind of struggled with how it would change us as a family. I think I was just really worried about, and I think even after our first placement came, that was really difficult to get used to, especially because he was like a few years old, so it was enough where it was like needs in our family we'd never seen before. Like we'd come downstairs and we'd have to be quiet so he could go to bed at like 8 o'clock, and we'd never ever done that, and it was just like silly things like that. And I think it was a gradual thing, but when he came to us at Christmas we had to go out in a mad rush and buy him all of his Christmas presents, and that was like a really nice thing to do together. But I think it was just when he came and we saw the need for him to be with us, and we saw him become so much more confident and really like part of the family. It was a really gradual thing, but by the time he moved on I couldn't imagine that we'd never had him with us before.
And it was also really weird as well, you've got all these new people coming to your house, you've got a little tiny human who you've never met who's living with you. He's in your bedroom, eating your food, watching your telly. It's weird, there's all these new people, but it was a really good thing. Like you said, it's nice for somebody else to also be here at the same time, and it is a rewarding thing that you're seeing them hit their milestones. So it was weird, but it was a very nice like extension to the family. I definitely think for me, it makes you realise how lucky you are. You know, like with me and my sister, we're with our biological parents, we are more than safe here, we've got everything we want and more. I just think it definitely opens your eyes to things you wouldn't really think about. If you look at a child, you think they're lovely, they're happy, they're safe, but in reality they're not, they might not be. So it definitely opens your eyes to, I don't know, I think it's just how lucky you are compared to that child's not had the best start, but you're going to give them that.
I think just more compassionate. Like I think it's just made me a bit more patient with people, a bit more compassionate. I think it's definitely made me and my parents so much closer. Like just getting to see them care for someone, getting to see them like, I don't know, look after someone and do such a good job at it. It just makes me like, it makes me so proud of them, and I tell everyone non-stop about our mum and dad and what they do and how they're helping someone. I think it just like, it really shows you how much you've got to be thankful for, but also like this is their first time doing it as well, and they're doing such a good job that it just makes me want to like shout it from the rooftops, be like, my mum and dad are foster carers and they're doing so well. And it just makes me want to tell everyone, I think. I think just be open. Like our mum and dad didn't go ahead with it until they'd spoken to us. They didn't even put in an application until they genuinely sat down and heard us out about how we felt about it. And we probably would both admit we weren't 100% on it, but they had to weigh that with, is it what they wanted to do just as much as it what we didn't want to do? But I think if you can just sit down and have an open conversation with the people in our position where their parents are going to potentially be foster carers, you've got to be open about it. You can't just go in and say, I think you should do it because you want to do it, because then there might be some kind of resentment down the line. And if you can be open and honest, a lot of it can be fixed just by talking about it. Things that I worried about, like I won't have my bedroom's completely fine. I can come back here whenever I want. It's like, I think just if something is holding you back as like a child of people who are potentially going to foster, just be open about it, and the majority of it isn't even an issue, I don't think.